Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and welcome back to another one of my reaction videos. And today we're going to be reacting to the new episode of Death Battle that just came out, Among Us versus Fall Guys. This is definitely going to be interesting. I'm really excited to see what Death Battle has prepared for us today. I was really happy to see a lot of people warming up to this idea as time went by, because it was met with a lot of criticism and a lot of backlash since the beginning, when it was first announced. There were some people that loved it, though, and of course, me being the guy that I am, I had a very indifferent opinion on it, which I guess is an illegal opinion to have these days. You either have to love it or hate it, but whatever, I'm still willing to roll with the way things go, and, it was probably on the lower tier of my most wanted episodes from the champion poll, but even still, I'm excited to see, because some of the best stuff that Death Battle has done is some of the weirdest stuff. So if this ends up being a fun time, then it doesn't matter what I was feeling before. And again, I never hated it or anything, so I'm really excited to see what Death Battle has prepared for us. In terms of who I am rooting for, really neither of them. I don't have a strong attachment to either series. I guess if I had a stronger attachment to one of them, it would be Among Us. And while I do believe they have gone on to kind of inspire some pretty cringe humor, I can find them funny at times too. So nothing against the Fall Guys, it's just, I think the popularity of Among Us has kind of forced me to have more of a connection to them, you know what I mean? So if you really want an answer from me, I guess I would say I'm rooting for Among Us. In terms of who I am betting on or who I think is going to win, that is a lot tougher, because a lot of it can really depend on what Death Battle decides to include and how they interpret what they decide to include. I will start by saying, though, that I think the obvious advantages, like the ones that are basically not up for debate, at least in my opinion, basically all go to Among Us. Stuff being like intelligence, weapons variety, battle experience, stuff like that. Like, that all seems to be in favor of Among Us. So if Death Battle comes to the conclusion that physically speaking and, the power of their weaponry and stuff like that, if that's all pretty even across the board, across both sides, then I think, Among Us takes it pretty handily. However, based on what I know about these characters, and of course Death Battle could prove me wrong, but based on what I know about these characters and based on what I said in my prediction video, it does seem to me like those other categories could very easily be taken by the Fall Guys. Stuff like physical stats and the power of their weaponry and stuff like that. So right now that's kind of what I'm leaning more towards, because I feel like those are more important advantages. Like, yeah, they're not really known for fighting, but if they still have the power to take down Among Us, then I think they very well could. But again, if they're more even in that stuff, like the physical capabilities, then I think Among Us is just more battle driven, and I think they would just win. But right now I'm going with the Fall Guys, but I've talked for long enough. Let's just see what Death Battle has to say about it. Really? That's a nice way to start.
The year was 2020.
Well, this is different.
The long wait as we all experienced the most viral sensation
in
recent years.
Yeah.
It was Among Us.
Fall Guys was the biggest news that year. He's
right, okay, sure.
And
that was the biggest stuff.
Their weapons, armor, and skills to find
okay,
out who would
looks
win
interesting.
a death battle.
So they're using set pieces from both series. That's really nice to see.
In the lonely dark of space, aboard a malfunctioning vessel, a peculiar crew of bean-shaped astronauts must work together to save their souls from a quiet demise.
I do like their little hands.
Could go wrong at any moment, and it's up to these colorful clowns to fix it. Impressive, since their spacesuits
boomstick one. Okay, that's great.
That's not actually a suit. That's just how they are.
Wait, what? Ew.
Yeah.
Why?
More than
there's nothing under
the
there.
Tasks they undertake to save
other than the
their ship
bone.
require varying degrees of difficulty and skill. It may not
reportedly
take
good
much
friends with the
to
Fall Guys.
reconnect
Oh man.
but it certainly does. To
and they
clear
like and dislike the
asteroids
same
when your
stuff.
ship is moving faster than light.
If that's not a suit, then why do they have a cafeteria when they don't have a mouth?
At any point, these creatures
so faster
must
than light
draw from
flight. That
medical
is
training,
impressive.
Electrical skills and mechanical know-how.
Okay, but it's total chaos, so teamwork is key. They gotta spread out and trust that while they're all swiping cards, they have each other's backs.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, success is
the problem though.
uncertain,
There's some
as though
suspicion.
fate has placed some external force that stands between this species and their survival.
There's an imposter among them.
Well,
I mean,
two in
among
this
us,
case.
but not us, though. Right, Wiz? Right?
For the 9th time.
Well, maybe we'll see about that.
That's Just what an imposter would say. They're shape-shifting aliens. They could be anyone or any mad scientist.
It says they don't appear to gain any abilities when they
The
impersonate.
imposter
That might
threatens
be
the pack and
important.
pushes them towards extinction by any means necessary. Anything from damaging lights to wrecking the ship's reactor.
Which can be tricky to fix in time. Even though imposters are naturally skilled at crawling through the vents, the crewmates need special engineer training to do the same.
Right.
So not all of them can McLean it up.
All while the imposters conceal their motivations and infiltrate the herd. The others always know.
But like, is the
something
imposter
right,
on
and
the
imposters
crewmate's
use
side
that
in this
paranoia
case?
to
It's hard to
motivate their
say.
prey into ejecting each other into
Maybe the
space.
imposter just wins.
Just for being kinda sus.
Oh, emergency meeting.
Yeah, Wiz is the imposter.
He does seem to know an awful lot about
I think I saw this
these
image
aliens.
flying around the
And
internet.
Just to put it out there, it isn't me.
That's a good point. Have you ever heard him say sus?
No, what do you mean? Knowing a lot is literally my job.
I like how they're still incorporating
Canals.
animation
Jeez,
into the
fix your
segments, you
mind,
know?
Debbie.
I agree with the
Even if they
metal
can't do what they
ball.
used to do.
I knew the sussy baka from the start. And again, just to be very clear, it isn't me.
Same here.
Oh, come
Ringmaster
on.
seems
Anyone
very
can be
adamant that it's
imposter
not
boosting.
him.
It's completely random.
Random starts with R and so does. Oh, I know who it is. It's always the red one.
Wait, what? What? It
Oh,
isn't
he got
me.
voted out.
It isn't me.
Well, let's see. Okay, great. It seemed that it was
Right.
him.
There's
Oh, but there's
usually
still one that
two
remains, right?
imposters.
Dear God.
The imposters aren't
Okay,
just
maybe we'll
tricksters,
continue
but
that
also
later.
Hunters, bloodhounds tracking and assassinating crewmates when they least expect it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll snap their necks, stab them with a knife, shoot them with a desert
Ghostface
eagle,
gets stabbed.
raise their freaking tongues to impale their
Oh, yeah, the
faces.
manga.
God,
That's what that is,
right
right?
with the visor.
They may look like they're wearing spacesuits, but
Guardians
that's
3
not
is such a
visor.
great movie.
That is their actual face. Examining their cross-section reveals their insides always match the color of their bodies.
Yeah.
And that they are comprised of exactly one large bone.
Uh-huh.
Which must mean their ability to walk is entirely muscle-based. Their whole anatomy is
Oh, wow,
one
I did not expect him to go into
unsolvable
this.
Ew! They've got human toes, buff arms for no reason, and can stretch like Mr. Fantastic? What are these freaky things?
No one knows.
Mm.
They don't even exist within the same realm of mortality as you or I. Even if one
Meaning
of them
what?
is killed or ejected
Oh, the
into
ghost stuff, I
lifeless void
assume.
of space, they return
Yeah.
as a ghost.
Right.
Invisible, incorporeal, unable to communicate with the
all
living,
these names.
but nonetheless still among us.
Even beyond death, they can plot the demise of other crew.
Or become guardian angels for the living by literally shielding them.
That's gotta be one tough shield. 'cause
That's
remember
really
that desert
good.
eagle they holster? Apparently, that
But if
thing
they all
also
end up
fires
dead,
a
then
laser
does
that
it
can
matter?
Rip apart whole planets.
Yeah.
God, to split
Literally,
this planet apart like
it's
that
ridiculous.
would need over 10 non-million tons of TNT.
A number
What
so
a number.
incomprehensible, you'd have to multiply 1 billion by 1 billion.
Uh-huh.
Twice.
More
Right.
than enough to annihilate Earth over 160 million
160
times.
million
Which
Earths from a
seems like overkill
handgun,
for the,
essentially.
Space vampires they were fighting.
Right, the crew has crossed over with a variety of other
Yeah.
universes.
So have the Fall Guys,
Fortnite,
but
Vampire
this one
Survivors,
first.
Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator, the classics.
Including this Henry Stickmin guy. Apparently, he's a kleptomaniac with a surprisingly wide and wacky arsenal all the crew can have.
I mean, if we
Desert
get
Eagle
Henry
Eye
versus
crewmates
Second
will find
Coming, we'll
Henry's
see more of
weapons throughout
that.
The ship, like a banana bomb, a teleporter, a ninja star, and a magic pencil that can bring drawings to life.
These
Oh, like
creepy
SpongeBob.
Teletubbies can sketch whatever they want into existence, and they're suddenly everywhere I look now.
Right.
Where's these little trash
Wait, Wings of
people are
Iron?
freaking me out.
In a strange way, all of this makes sense for this
Did
fascinating
I just get an ad
species.
down there? That's
In the
annoying.
face of insurmountable odds, something inside
Or is that part of
tells
the
them to
video?
band
I
together
don't know.
No matter what, to use all the tools available and try to survive again and again. On a ship, on strange planets, anywhere they may be, in spite of anything that may be going on in the world. They either
Mm-hmm.
fix what's broken or face certain doom. But no matter what, they do it together.
Among us,
Right, sure.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grammar, right?
Ooh.
Hey y'all, this is Chad. If you don't know,
Oh, hey,
I play
Chad.
Boomstick here at
Yeah, I
1
do know
PM
that.
Central today. Sam and I are going to be playing some Fall Guys and maybe some Among Us live here on the Death Battle channel and on Twitch.
Okay.
Hang out, have some fun, and who knows? If you guys enjoy it, maybe we'll do some more gameplay streams in the future.
That'd be cool. I'm
Hope to
pretty
see you there.
busy, but
Thanks.
if you guys want to do that, go right ahead. It sounds like fun. Now the Fall Guys.
To the bright, colorful world of the Blunderdome. Natural habitat to these lovable little beans known as the Fall Guys, who race each other through fun playgrounds with nothing but clear
I mean, I do like the
skies
design
These
of like
lively
all of
obstacle courses
this.
showcase
Seems
their
very
inherent
cool.
skills and abilities. As if drawn by natural instinct, they hurtle over barriers.
They are
together and
competitive,
pass
even if they're not
through
really
various tests of strength,
battle-driven to the
agility,
same
and
degree.
mental fortitude.
And it's pretty impressive considering how elaborate these bounce house courses get.
Right.
How do these weebles wobble through it?
With a shocking level of innate parkour mastery.
Same
that otherwise
classification.
hasn't been seen since
Reportedly
2006.
good friends with Among
But
Us.
Honestly, not many of the beans make it. And only one can be crowned the winner.
Right.
Before everything starts all over
So is this really like
Which makes for
imposter
some
versus
very
winner, maybe?
friendly competition, like survival of the fittest, but for a bunch of candy grimaces. They'll grab, shove, and slam into each other to make it out on top, or even roll up into a ball and launch across the course. Self-preservation be damned.
And over time, the beans have evolved to higher levels of, let's call it imagination.
Sure.
The engineer
That's a good word
Digi
for it.
invented the creative device so the beans could start making and designing new obstacles and challenges for
I
themselves.
really hope we see some
as well as
aspect of
additional
this in the
tools like
fight.
wrecking balls,
Like
wind-up
creating
boxes
the
for
set
punching
piece.
foes, and even translators that make their nonsensical language intelligible.
But
Really?
even at their best, they're still just flinging themselves over these obstacles like a bunch of drunken lemmings.
This species seems to have a biological urge to navigate these courses for one singular purpose. Get that
Right, the crown.
I mean,
who
if
wouldn't
could
want
be
that
king
crown?
For a day, I'd push you off a cliff right now.
Oh man,
Very funny.
how much money would you lose
Things
by
in the
losing Wiz
Blunderdome
for Death
can
Battle
get
by doing that?
wild. We've seen these goobers get smacked by giant mallets and fall into actual hot lava. but
Dressed
they
as an
always pop
imposter,
back
that's
up at
fun.
the qualification
We got the
stage
TARDIS
later,
down there,
completely unharmed
proton pack.
somehow.
These
That can help with the
remarkable
ghost,
creatures
like
have
ghost
demonstrated
busting.
Some dumbfounding durability, such as getting struck by meteors. That's a hit
Uh-huh.
anywhere from 18 tons of TNT to 15 kilotons. But they still get right back up to Rube Goldberg themselves straight through another obstacle course.
Right.
On top of that, they were hit with the Big Bang and came out the other side completely fine. Whoa, wait.
Well, there you
Did I
go.
just say the Big Bang? Why do we even mention the meteor? Who cares?
Right.
Their suits are basically indestructible.
Sometimes the scale of
Boomstick,
these feats
I hate
between
to
each
tell you
other
this.
is just
No,
ridiculous.
Those aren't really.
Don't say it.
Those aren't actually suits. That's their skin.
Right, again,
Man,
it's just the way
people
they
were
are.
getting Weird back in 2020.
We're
They have better
accepting
things
here.
to do.
With only arms, legs, and eyes, there must be some genetic mechanism inside the beans that causes them to be self-sustaining.
Oh, well, have you
Go
seen their
after some
skeleton?
dissecting.
Yeah.
This is an official image, by the way.
Yeah.
It's more upsetting. That skeleton
That's
or the fact
amazing.
that these jelly beans are 6 friggin' feet tall.
Right.
Imagine bumping into this thing in a dark alleyway. No, thank you.
So this
I
means
mean, they
when
don't
you
seem
start the
that
game, you're
angry.
just flat out
I'm sure
naked,
they could be,
just
though.
Swinging away, beans in the wind.
Strange. such
Oh, come
nakedness
on,
would be
why?
allowed, considering what's actually happening is the Fall Guys are
Why you gotta make it
contestants
weird?
in a non-stop 24/7 game show, the ultimate knockout. Yeah, that's what's
So that's a lot of
actually happening
stamina.
here. So what might be misconstrued as some sort of migration cycle is really a brutal, never-ending gauntlet that takes advantage of their tunnel vision.
So it's
Yeah.
like the Truman Show mixed with Wipeout and Naked and Afraid. What happened to them being just colorful cartoon beans?
And they survive
they still
to
are.
keep playing the game no matter what. The game makers have said that when the beans fall to their death, they feel a moment of displacement, serenity, zen-like detachment from all worldly
But how much does
and
it
physical
take to
bonds.
kill them?
Then they
Clearly
pop
not
back
the
onto
Big
podium
Bang.
to celebrate their achievements. That's an official quote.
They've also said they're strong enough to rip someone in half and can stretch their bodies so far they pass beyond the observable universe.
Right.
Oh god, the Twitter.
The tweet, yeah.
Oh yeah, January 18th, 2022, 9:14 a.m. The Fall Guys stretched so
This is the
far,
kind of stuff
he
they have to
exited
talk
the
about. It's
universe as we know
insane.
it. And then he kept
going.
Speaking of universes, the Fall Guys have seen dozens of guest stars from other
Yep.
stories and have learned from their culture.
Grinch and Jack Skellington.
Flying around
Please
in the
let that
TARDIS
be a
of
hint
Doctor
for
Who
later.
fame, wielding He-Man's power sword, launching Ryu's iconic Hadouken, or even just becoming Pac-Man. They
That
just
can also-
become Pac.
That can also
They're
eat
Pac-Man.
ghosts.
Wiz, I know we've seen some crazy things on the show.
Great
but
episode.
These 6 feet tall
Amazing
jelly bean
episode, I should
monsters
say.
eat food through their feet. What are we about to rock upon the world? Is this cute and colorful reality?
You got to admit this
void
is
of
fun,
darkness and
right?
despair? Revelations of disturbances too catastrophic for the
They're really
human
creative
mind
with this
process.
editing.
A vicious cycle on this blue marble surrounded by mouthless, dead-eyed fiends.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Cool, let's see them fight.
hell yeah, let's go.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run
So I'm
the
just trying to remember
gamut of all
everything that I've heard.
possibilities.
It's time for
Time for a death battle! Let's pause the video. Okay, so based on what they said, it seems to me like the Fall Guys are going to win. But maybe I'm just missing something. The main things that I picked up on were that they survived the Big Bang, which I'm pretty sure is harder to survive than a handgun that can destroy what was it, 160 million Earths? However many planets it was. Like, that's not gonna stack up to the Big Bang, obviously. So it seems to me like the biggest power output feat they gave for Among Us, which of course they could be holding stuff back, like maybe the Henry Stickmin stuff that will actually go into a lot more detail later, but from what it seems that they told us, you know, the Fall Guys are just a lot more durable. It seems like they can tank pretty much anything that, you know, the Among Us characters throw at them. There's also the stuff about the ghosts being able to protect, you know, the still living Among Us characters. But if we have the Proton Pack from Ghostbusters, or, you know, just being able to become Pac-Man, that seems like a pretty, like a couple really hard counters for stuff like that, right? It also seems that, you know, they're able to stretch further, because I don't think the Among Us characters have stretched beyond the observable universe, but that's the thing. It's like, does that count as outside help, just being able, like, from liking the tweets? Or is it more like, you know, the more likes this tweet gets will tell this Fall Guy to stretch further? Like, is it still something they could naturally do on their own without, you know, direct correlation to the likes itself, you know? So I'm not 100% sure about that, but it seems to me like there are more advantages that the Fall Guys have. Again, I still hold to it that they don't seem to be as intelligent or battle-driven or nasty even, I guess. I guess they can be nasty to each other, you know, their drive is to win. Which again, I don't know whether or not that's going to help or hurt them, because they said they have tunnel vision on what they want. In this case, what they want is to win. They want to kill the other. So does that benefit them, or because maybe they're more competitive with each other, will that not benefit them? That seems a little weird, but, you know, I'm just trying to make sure I've got a good handle on everything. Yes, it does seem like the Among Us characters do have more weapons, but I'm not sure if that's gonna actually help if they don't have much that's powerful enough to kill the Fall Guys, because they didn't say later that the universe, like the Big Bang feat, was an outlier or anything. One thing I did notice that they said, you know, they talked about when they die. So how easy is it to kill them? Are we just to assume that the stuff that killed them is more powerful than the Big Bang itself? Because now we're going into an anti-feat discussion, and that's obviously super fun. But I think I still have to go with the Fall Guys. I'm just not sure if I see as many advantages. Like, and they did list other stuff like the TARDIS, like I even saw in the, you know, in the list of their arsenal or whatever, but they didn't actually talk about it much in, you know, verbally. So I'm not sure if that's really gonna matter that much, but still, like, the freaking TARDIS, like, how do you beat that? You know, it's still something they have to include in their reasoning, whether or not they say it out loud. They're just trying to say the stuff that either they deem as most important for making things easy to understand, or something along those lines, right? So I could be completely wrong. Maybe Among Us will surprise me, and I have to admit, it would be kind of cool to see them win, but as of right now, just unless they're tricking me, based on what I am hearing, it looks like the Fall Guys will win. But we'll see about that. Let's keep going. There are imposters among us. I haven't seen this, by the way, the sneak peek. I'm assuming this was, so... This is cool. Oh, geez, that's the imposter. Oh my god, yes, that definitely is. There's a Fall Guy. Oh no, they all got ejected. Everyone was ejected. But they were ejected into a Fall Guy stadium. 3, 2, 1, go! Pulling him back? I mean, they're definitely saving the budget with this. But this is still fun. Okay, we've got a few left on each side. Stop twerking at me. Ouch. So far they're treating it as like just regular rules. That if you get eliminated, oh my god, if you get eliminated, then you're out of the game. Whether or not they actually die, I guess. Now, can that actually stab them? Like, maybe we'll never know. Ouch! Winner! And that's the imposter, I assume. So this is the fight. I was right, winner versus imposter. Okay, so it didn't work. Is there something wrong with this knife? Oh no. Bounced right back at, oh my god. Do not touch his crown. Oh, this is fun. Oh, the banana. Banana bomb. Is he gonna get the crown? Oh, he can stretch further, I think. But he can teleport. And all the ghosts and the eliminated characters. There you go, Pac-Man. Oh, this is fun. This is enjoy. Oh! But he's fine. Oh, there is the TARDIS. And the He-Man sword. Sword of Omens. No, that's, never mind. I guess that is an issue for the Fall Guy. You're too focused on that. Holy crap. Imagine this thing coming after you. Oh. Come on, bro. Oh, did he just win? Aww. Oh no, he's imagining it. Okay. No, he's not gonna let that happen. Oh! Yikes. Oh no, I'm so sorry, dude. I guess you don't care, though. Do not mess with his crown. Come on, that was fun.
Oh,
that was a lot of fun.
This is my new favorite show. Move over, chimp crazy.
We broke this down into 3 categories: offense, defense, and the bizarre.
Sure.
Let's start with offense.
I mean, the bogus among us could blow up planets, not to mention moving faster than light to hit all those planets in one shot. It's kinda out there, but no Fall Guy has ever done anything like that. The crewmates clearly get the edge in offense.
Right.
Though that impressive power matters less when we look at defense.
Yeah, that's the issue.
The Fall Guys can walk off. They survived anything their course threw at them, took hits from meteors, and most importantly, survived the Big Bang.
Yeah.
You know, the explosion that blew the whole freaking universe into
Our
existence.
whole universe
Easy
is
end for the bumbling beans.
We can even go a step further. Both of these creatures have demonstrated various forms of invulnerability and death negation. Like how the Fall Guys could always pop back up for another round, or how the crewmates became ghosts when they died.
Yeah, right.
However, only the Fall Guys had a viable counter.
Right.
Only the Fall Guys could ensure that their foe stays dead.
Yeah.
Pac-Man, they can become Pac-Man, who, you know, eats ghosts.
Eats ghosts.
Brilliant.
Which leads us to the truly bizarre stuff about both of these beanie freaks.
Right, let's get
They
into
both
it.
stretch their bodies to absurd lengths, but only the Fall Guys stretch beyond the observable.
See, a lot of this
universe in a matter
seemed pretty-
minutes. In fact,
pretty
if
well
we take
laid
these
out.
Posting times literally, that would mean the Fall Guys can stretch at speeds over a quadrillion times faster than light.
I don't know, Wiz. That feels like a bit of a
Stretch?
Wink.
The crewmates did have plenty of answers to the Fall Guys' hijinks, like a magic pencil sword to fight off He-Man's power sword.
Right, the
or how
power
they could
sword. That's what I meant to
potentially
say,
hack
obviously.
Disney's creations.
But the overwhelming amount of stuff that the Fall Guys have access to just dwarfs the Among Us crew's arsenal. I mean,
Yeah.
Hadoukens, TARDIS, just
At least
the
in
tip
terms of
the
power.
iceberg. Yeah, the
Quality
spaceship
over
crew
quantity,
had a few
right?
deadlier weapons among them, but the
And the
Fall
tunnel
Guys
vision
had
is a
too many
negative,
options
yeah.
that could not be countered.
The crewmates may have been cunning and dangerous.
I love they
but
get the crown.
one-track-minded Fall Guys just wouldn't go down.
Making sure the losers of this
I mean, it
fight
makes
were
sense
no
to me.
longer Among Us.
Ha ha ha.
Oh no, we never found the second imposter.
Oh yeah, we gotta do
Damn it,
that.
I knew that stupid robot was sus.
Oh, oh no, everyone. Oh, Jocelyn was the other. Oh,
The winner is the Fall Guys. And me.
right. Good job,
Next time
Jocelyn.
on Death
Oh, we do have a
Battle.
next time. Okay, I wasn't expecting we were getting it. Kratos versus Asura.
Subscribe and join as a member
But-
to see more Death Battle.
So when do we get this, though? Because I assumed we were stopping for now. Is that right? That we were going to have 4 episodes in 2024, and then either in like January or February of 2025 was going to be the next one. I was not assuming that we were going to be getting a next time here. I was thinking the next time could be Kratos versus Asura, but because, you know, we know that they had some animation prepared, like from Devil Artemis, which looked cool, but I didn't actually think we were going to get it if they were going to be taking a break. But now this makes me think, are they not going to be taking a break after all? But by that logic, though, it means that either they be posting like another one in 2024 or like right at the beginning of 2025, which seems a little odd too. Okay, I'll have to look more into that because that might dictate when I decide to make my prediction. Because I don't necessarily want to jump too quickly into it. But we'll see about that. Okay, so I guess that's really all I have to say. I mean, like, I guess if I want to talk a little bit about Kratos versus Asura itself, like, yeah, we knew it was coming, or at least if you were following the Death Battle Kickstarter, you would know that it was coming. So, you know, I'm really happy to see that it is in fact coming now. I'm sure it's going to be great. Like, so many people have been waiting for this one. It nearly lost 2 champion events, and thankfully, you know, the crew was nice enough to just do it anyway. Obviously, Wile versus Tom will be sometime in 2025. Who knows when, but yeah, like I'm very excited for this. I think this has the potential to just be insane. So I am looking forward to it. I'm not going to say anything about who I think wins yet, but I am looking forward to it. And again, before I make my prediction video, I kind of want to maybe do some more research or see if I want to do some more research on if Death Battle has said, you know, when this episode is coming out, because, you know, that might dictate when I want to make the prediction. But either way, that might be an issue for another time. Let's talk about this episode. So yeah, I know some people were not excited for this one, and I'm sorry if you really, really didn't want this episode to happen, but you got to admit, like, this was a lot of fun to watch. And that's the thing, right? Like, Death Battle is ultimately here to entertain you and maybe teach you something new. So, you know, yeah, you might not like the matchup when you first hear it, but if what they make is still good, then what does it really matter? Like, you shouldn't force yourself to not like something, right? And who knows, maybe you actually didn't like all the hard work they put into this animation. Maybe it's just not your thing. And if so, I'm sorry about that too. But for me, this was just tons of fun. Like, I'm gonna have to rewatch it so many times to really, you know, get a good grasp on what all the characters did. Like, I definitely wouldn't say this was up to the level of like Bowser versus Eggman or anything in terms of quality, but like, you know, I still thought that for an experience of like what Fall Guys and Among Us are all about, like, I think this was very well done. Like, I like how they started with the simple stuff, like, you know, oh yeah, like we're in the Among Us area, then we're in the Fall Guys area, and, you know, they're having all these like still frames of the elimination. Like, yeah, I know I joked before about how, you know, they're saving money on the budget, but like that is still very true to who the characters are and what the series are about. And then once they got all of that out of the way, we got to the real fight, and then it started getting, you know, crazier and crazier. So I did definitely appreciate that. So yeah, like I did enjoy this episode a lot. You know, I'm not saying it's one of my favorite episodes of all time. Like, I'm definitely not saying that, but like the hard work that everyone put into the animation of this, and also the analyses were just fun to watch. Like, I thought they were legitimately funny. I thought, you know, they were creative in the visual elements that they used, because, you know, it can be hard with these series to find good visual elements. And I like how, you know, they had like Boomstick and Wiz as Among Us crewmates. Like, that was fun. You know, all of it was just a lot of fun. All of it was really creative, really came together really well. Like, there was never a point where I'm like, this feels like a weird Death Battle analysis. Like, I was always like, this feels like a fun Death Battle analysis. So, you know, I'm really happy that that's the direction they took it. I think they did it really rather well. The reasoning makes sense to me. Again, you know, it seemed pretty decently laid out, all things considered. Like, a lot of the stuff that, you know, they were talking about in the conclusion, I pretty well picked up on. So there wasn't that much to surprise us, but maybe there just couldn't have been that much to surprise us. And I've said before that if they surprise us too much, then that's a little cheap, because I do like, you know, having the idea that I might be able to figure it out based on what they say. And clearly I was able to here. So I'm really happy about that. And again, yeah, it makes sense to me. Like, I still hold to it that the Fall Guys characters are not nearly as combative. They're probably not as intelligent, but the stuff that they have, like just being able to survive what they can survive, and, you know, just the craziness of their weaponry, even if they don't have as much, just the craziness of what they have access to is insane. Not to mention they crossed over with Fortnite, so, you know. But yeah, like, I really did enjoy this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. I don't have like any sort of really concrete reasons for like, oh, it was good because of this and this and this, but like, it was just fun to watch. Like, ultimately, with Among Us versus Fall Guys, that's what you should want. That's the main goal, so it can be fun to watch. So I think it did that job amazingly, personally. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Who do you think should have won? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, comment your comments down below, subscribe if you could too, that would be amazing. But no matter what you guys do, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.